The auditorium was filled with applause, but none of it was for me. Every clap felt like a reminder of where I stood in my own family. Invisible, replaceable, irrelevant. My name is Ethan Caldwell, and that day was the day I realized I didn't have a home anymore. It was my younger brother, Lucas Caldwell's graduation. Stanford, top of his class, golden boy of the family. My parents sat in the front row like they owned the place. My mother, Victoria Caldwell, wore her pride like jewelry. My father, Richard Caldwell, kept nodding like every achievement belonged to him. And I sat 3 rows behind them. Not beside them, not with them, behind them. Because somehow, that had always been my place. Lucas walked across the stage. Perfect posture, confident smile, everything I was never allowed to be. The applause exploded. People stood up. My parents stood first. My mother clapped harder than anyone. My father whistled loudly, drawing attention. "That's my son," he shouted. I smiled, or at least I tried to, because what else was I supposed to do? After the ceremony, there was a reception, expensive, elegant, full of people who mattered. And then there was me, standing near the corner table, holding a glass I didn't even want. My father called people over, business partners, old friends, anyone who would listen. "This is Lucas," he said proudly. "Stanford graduate, future investment banker." And then someone asked, "Do you have other children?" There it was, the moment. My father paused, just for a second. Then he smiled politely. "Yes, we have another son." Another son, like I was an afterthought. A footnote. My mother added quickly, "He's figuring things out." Figuring things out. I had already graduated 2 years earlier, worked 2 jobs, built a small consulting business from scratch. But to them, I was still the one who didn't make them proud. Lucas finally walked over to me. "Hey," he said casually. "Congrats," I replied. He nodded. "Thanks." And then he said something that changed everything. "You could have done this too, you know." I looked at him. "What?" "Stanford. Success. All of it." His tone wasn't cruel. It was worse. It was casual. Like my failure was just a fact. Like gravity. "Not everyone wants the same life," I said quietly. He shrugged. Or maybe they just can't get it. And then he walked away. Just like that. No drama. No shouting. Just quiet destruction. Later that night, my parents gathered everyone for a toast. My father raised his glass. "To Lucas," he said, "the son who made us proud." The room echoed with cheers. Then my mother added something. "And to learning from mistakes." She glanced at me, just for a second, but it was enough. The room went silent in my head. Everything slowed down. And in that moment, something inside me broke. Not loudly, not dramatically, just permanently. I left without saying goodbye. No one stopped me. No one noticed. And that told me everything I needed to know. The next 6 years were quiet. Painfully quiet. I cut contact. No calls. No holidays. No updates. At first it hurt. Then it became peaceful. I worked. Obsessively. Built my consulting business into something real. Something stable. Something mine. No handouts. No validation. Just results. I moved cities. New apartment. New life. No one knew my past. And for the first time, I didn't feel like I was competing with anyone. Because I wasn't. I was finally just living. 6 years later, my phone rang. Unknown number. I almost didn't pick up, but something told me to answer. "Hello." Silence. Then a voice I hadn't heard in years. "Ethan." My chest tightened. It was my mother. "Your father is in the hospital," she said. "No greeting. No apology. Just need." I closed my eyes. And she hesitated. "We need your help." "Of course you do." I didn't say it out loud, but I thought it. Loudly. "What happened to Lucas?" I asked. Another pause. "He's not in a position to help. Not in a position." The golden boy. The pride of the family. Suddenly unavailable. I almost laughed, but it didn't feel funny. It felt inevitable. "I'll think about it," I said, and I hung up. That night I didn't sleep. Not because I cared, but because I remembered. Every word, every look, every moment I was made to feel small. And now, they needed me. Not because they loved me. Not because they missed me. But because they had no other option. The next morning, I drove to the hospital. I don't know why. Maybe closure. Maybe curiosity. Or maybe some part of me still wanted to be seen. The hospital smelled the same as every hospital. Sterile, cold. I found a room, and there they were. Older, tired, different. My mother stood up slowly. Ethan, her voice cracked. My father looked smaller in that bed. Weaker, for the first time in my life. He didn't look untouchable. What do you need? I asked. Straight to the point. No emotions. No worms. Just business. My mother swallowed. The company is in trouble. Of course it is. Lucas made some bad decisions. There was the truth, hidden behind polite words. He lost a lot of money, she continued. How much? She hesitated. Everything. Silence filled the room. And for the first time, I wasn't the failure anymore. My father finally spoke. Can you fix it? No apology. No acknowledgement. Just expectation. Like I owed them something. I looked at him. Really looked. And I realized something. I didn't need this anymore. Not their approval. Not their validation. Nothing. I can, I said. Hope flickered in their eyes. And then I finished the sentence. But I won't. The room froze. What? My mother whispered. I built my life without you, I said calmly. You made it very clear where I stood. My father frowned. That was years ago. Exactly. And you never once tried to fix it, I replied. Silence. Heavy. Unavoidable. You only called when you needed something. My mother's eyes filled with tears. But I didn't feel guilty. Not anymore. I'm not your backup plan, I said. And for the first time in my life, I walked away. Not as the forgotten son. Not as the failure. But as someone who finally chose himself. 6 years earlier, they needed someone to be proud of. Today, they needed someone to save them. And for the first time, that someone wasn't willing. And the truth is, sometimes the most powerful thing you can do is not help the people who never helped you.